goes.
No.
Here it goes. 4.
Do it.
3.
Do it.
I felt the vibration in my chest.
So we've got a special delivery today. We've got Tony with Salty Gears Off-Road from Salt Lake City. He's bringing us down a set of wheels for the truck that we're giving back to Aiden.
Double standard 304s. Super cool wheel. As you can see on my Jeep, I have method wheels.
Since the wheels are busted on the truck, we knew we were gonna have to go with a new set of wheels. This is the exact wheel that Aiden wants on his truck. Since we're not experts in wheels, we left it to the experts to get us some wheels.
When we saw the situation, we knew we wanted to help. And when Robby told me that Aiden preferred method wheels, again, I was excited to help out with that. We got the wheels, and we're gonna also help with suspension on it. I reached out to Rough Country, and they're gonna supply us with a lift kit for it and their best shocks, and we're gonna get it back together and make his dad proud.
Just so you're aware, these are not sponsored. These are coming from Tony from Salty Gear Off-Road. This is his portion that he's bringing down and helping us with. Also, Rough Country, they're sending their best lift kit and they're sending their best shocks. So we appreciate everything that they're doing and where they're coming in on this build and helping us out to help out this family. If you guys ever need a lift kit, go check them out, or check out Salty Gears Off-Road. They can help you with a lift kit or wheels and tires or anything you need. Aside from the wheels, BFG reached out to us and they want to be a part of this as well. They are sending us a set of 35-inch KM3s that we're going to be wrapping on these 17-inch wheels. They're not here yet, but we have tires ordered. They're going to be here. So as soon as we get the wheels and tires mounted up, we're going to be taking and getting the lift kit put on at Salty Gears in Salt Lake. So we'll show you guys a little bit more of that later. We appreciate Tony coming down, checking out the project and bringing the wheels so we can get this rolling forward, literally. So we are getting back on Aiden's dad's truck. We got Hillbilly tonight. We got Dinner slinging the camera.
Hey guys.
We got some awesome news to tell you guys right off. We now have international shipping for our merch. So all you fellas out in the other countries, head over to RobbyLayton.com, get yourself some merch. We are sending it internationally.
Anywhere across the pond.
All of our proceeds from the merch sales are going to rebuilding this truck. What we're gonna be doing now is taking and stripping this frame down because we are gonna get it sandblasted and powder coated. Our buddy Kevin up at Powder Extreme Coatings is gonna be sandblasting and powder coating this frame for us. Super awesome that he's gonna be chipping in and donating that. Anyway, what we're planning on doing is getting the motor, transmission, transfer case, drive shaft, gas tank, wiring harness, pretty much everything off of this tonight. We've got to fix the frame. So our goal is to get it stripped down enough that we can get it over on the frame rack, get it up in clamps, measure it all out, pull it, square it all away, and then hopefully by the end of the week, we'll be taking it up to Salt Lake. Hillbilly's taking the driver's side. I'm gonna take the passenger side, and we're just gonna start breaking bolts. So I'm gonna pull the compressor off in one piece. We gotta get all the wiring off, hoses, pretty much strip this sucker down. We're gonna be taking this motor to Pocatello, Idaho, a company called Schrade Racing Motors, and they're gonna freshen it up, give it a little bit of extra horsepower to spin these tires, but we wanna stick to Aiden's dad's motor. I know everybody said go with a V8, but you know what? We're gonna stick to his motor. So we're just gonna freshen that sucker up and make it run really good.
Trying to pop a clip to get the brake line off so I can undo the brake line off this front to get rid of this whole ABS brake booster or master cylinder.
The nice thing about all this wiring is it pretty much goes in one spot and that's it. So pulling it off isn't too bad. It's just going back on. You gotta remember the routing of it. It's bent. This bracket's been bent from the rollover. Gonna try to straighten that out. Much better. Another thing that we noticed, the distributor cap is busted. So when this thing rolled, the firewall broke the distributor cap at the back. Okay, I'm gonna pull the alternator off next. I got my one size fits all socket tonight. It's a little stuck. I might have to get me a pry bar. Oh, look at that. Hillbilly to the rescue.
Just gotta wiggle, wiggle.
Gotta wiggle, wiggle.
It doesn't fold.
Is that brake line still fighting you?
Nope, I got it.
Nice.
I always win.
Because I always win. You guys might remember this from the ending of the last video. It's your Always Wins an Argument award. First place.
Heck yeah.
That's to remind you that you always win. Never loses an argument. So it looks to me like we're gonna need a few more things. We're gonna need a serpentine belt, a new fan clutch, new tensioner. This tensioner is busted off. We'll get some new radiator hoses. The list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The only thing we have left for this entire wiring harness is the starter. So we're gonna raise this up, pull that starter off, get the wires undone, and then all the wiring, computers and everything will come out in one big huge glob, and it gets to go in the reuse pile.
We got one mess going on.
Wait, where's those paper towels? Oh, hit me in the face. Have I told anybody before how much I absolutely hate antifreeze or oil or anything on the ground.
All the time.
Ugh. We're gonna need a new starter too. I don't think the starter's coming
It
out.
will.
You shaky.
Maneuver and wiggle and watch it.
Hold on, let me jiggle and get this wiring off the front axle. Let's see. Jiggle and fold.
You're gonna go straight back, drop the nose out.
All right, we'll see if Hillbilly can get it out, because I can't. Okay, now it's done. That was the super extra difficult way to pull the starter, but we got it. Starter is sort of removed expertly. I may or may not have screwed this up, so I'm gonna hurry and fix it. That way we don't forget. Save file.
Starter wire.
This one goes to the front axle. This goes on the frame. We'll look back on this video when we go to put all this wiring in.
I wonder what we think.
Yeah, wonder what the heck were we doing? Done! I guess we could get this fan off. You want to take the fuel lines out? Get them out of our way?
Yes, sir.
Should we try our free? See if it'll help with our bolts?
On the exhaust?
Yeah. Best stuff ever made.
Here you go, sir.
Spray this and let it start soaking on the bolts.
Let's see how quick this free stuff works. Oh, wow.
Did it really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, bud.
Oh yeah, bud.
This stuff's awesome.
This stuff works so good, I can't even believe it. Best stuff out there. No, it is not free, and it is not sponsored. This is just very, very good penetrating oil. They normally break. Would you look at that? We are 6 for 6. That's pretty dang good odds if you ask me.
Pulling the fuel lines off. Where I can, at least. Oh, wow. This one has 2 bolts.
It's a Chevy. I make sure I'm bolted up nice and tight.
More bolts than needed.
All right, I'm a little shocked. Every single bolt came out thus far. Work with me. Look at that. It even had gaskets that sealed up. That is just crazy. Hey, we could Cerakote these.
Oh, and the whole exhaust.
What do you guys think? Should we Cerakote these manifolds? Sandblast them and Cerakote them? Let us know in the comments. One more manifold taken off. Now, we just need to pull the rear wiring that feeds the tail lights, goes down the inside of the frame rail.
Tail lights, fuel tank.
Look at that. Everything comes out in assembly. So there's the rear harness. So far, so good. Everything's coming out nice. We got an evap line here. We've got a brake line, fuel lines. We're gonna take these lines all out in an assembly so we don't have any issues with them. He's gonna drop the tank.
Oh yeah, she's got some gassy in her.
Jeez.
One strap off. I'm going under.
Hello.
Hi, dinner. All my goodies in my pocket are falling out.
No wonder your phone looks the way it does.
He's like a pinata. Get his candy.
Get me out of here. After 30 minutes of searching for a socket, we found it. Had to get a jumbo long socket. It's like empty. The tank is out. Now we can work on these lines. Billy just needs to get this junction off and we'll be able to pull this out.
Now you got fuel.
Yeah. And then the motor, once you get the motor mounts out, we'll be ready to come out. Motor mount bolts are out. Now we gotta pull the power steering off somehow so it doesn't make a humongous mess. All right, so this driveline doesn't want to move, so Hillbilly's gonna have to move the transfer case so I can get the driveline out. Seized up in here, so we're probably gonna have to figure something out with that drive shaft. And it's bent.
The only thing you can figure out is a new one.
Man, our replace list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This motor is coming out. For those of you that are new to this channel and don't know who Frank is our Japanese Toyota forklift that we don't know what year. We don't even know what model it is because everything's in Japanese. But Frank's a good old boy. Okay, he starts, he runs, not very well, but you know, he gets the job done and he always shows up. So we really like Frank. Come on, Frank. Ah. Maybe one day Frank needs to freshen up. Up. Hold it. Up.
Oh, power steering light.
Oh, but okay.
All right, hold those, dinner. Up, up and away. Oh, that's good, you're grabbing me.
Ride the pony.
You got me.
Ride it.
To infinity and beyond. Very slowly down. Turn around, go to town.
Looks like we need some new motor mounts too.
Holy cow. Think those motor mounts were a little shot?
I think we could super glue them back together.
Yeah. Wow, that's
We
crazy.
probably didn't even have to
We didn't even need to unbolt them.
And who's to say they're not original from 96?
I'll bet they're original. Now we can get the exhaust out, pull the fuel tank out of the way, get this over on the frame rack. I think we're gonna need to get a spare on it though, so it'll at least roll. We got the motor, the transmission, transfer case, gas tank, everything out of this, just like we had hoped.
I think it's time to clean up and go home to the families.
That's
if they're
right.
still awake.
Good job, Binner. For those of you that are new to this channel, this truck belonged to a man that passed away 2 days after he rolled over in this truck. He didn't die from the accident, but he did die 2 days later from a heart attack. He has a 16-year-old son. His name is Aiden. This truck was supposed to become Aiden's truck. We're helping rebuild this truck for Aiden and give him a gift that his dad's unable to give him because he's no longer with us. From now until the vehicle is done, 100% of our merch proceeds are going to rebuilding this truck. It'll be his dad's truck. It'll be sentimental to him, and it's exactly what Aiden and his mom want. So that's why we're doing it. If you are new to the channel, go check out the video of the recovery and go check out the video of us tearing it down to this point. It's getting late, and it is tomorrow. All right, it is another day. We're gonna be getting this on the frame rack, checking out some stuff that came in the mail, and hopefully getting the frame rails all straightened around. We're gonna use the laser measuring system. We're gonna fix all the corners and get everything good to where we can strip this down and take it up sandblasting.
It's me.
Yeah.
I have a joke for you.
Let's hear it.
How do you call a teacher that doesn't fart in public?
I don't know. What do you?
Private tutor.
Private tutor.
What does a glitch's vehicle sound like?
I don't know. What does it sound like?
Broom, broom, broom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Meow, meow.
All right, it's these kids' bedtime, so they're gonna head home and we're gonna get to work.
Peace out,
Peace out, Dinsky.
Peace out, Adley.
Hillbilly, I got something cool that you're gonna like.
What's that?
Honk, honk.
Don't blow your temper. Blow your horn.
So we got a box from Horn Blasters. I reached out to them, and they are hooking us up for Aiden's truck. 16-year-old me would have loved this.
29-year-old me thinks it's really awesome.
So we got what is called the Conductor Special. What this is a whole lot of horns. We even got us a sticker that we can add to our sticker door.
I'm really jealous.
Yeah, this is like Hillbilly's dream come true.
I don't think you have enough air in your lungs to blow the head.
Nope.
Comes with an air tank, 4 different horns. Holy cow. We're gonna put it together and see what it sounds like. Ow! Let's do a small one. Holy cow. That is so loud. We definitely need to hook those all up.
What?
All right, so we're gonna get this hooked up and we'll be back.
I'm excited to toot its horn.
Don't even hit that button.
Here it goes.
No, no,
Here
no.
it goes.
No.
4.
Do it.
3.
Do it.
I felt the vibration in my chest.
Did it shut itself off?
Yeah.
Yeah, max
200 PSI.
200.
Yeah.
This is how we do sketchy stuff. All right, so we're gonna let this compressor fill up to 200 PSI, and we're gonna hit the switch. Everybody in town's gotta hear it.
Wake up.
Don't break the horns. Look, Frank got himself a new horn. All right, hit it.
Are your earplugs in?
Nope.
Looks like Robby's gonna have to buy another set because I'm still in these and putting them in the Bronco.
That is so freaking cool. I gotta feel the full effect of the horn. Somebody's gonna call the cop. Here goes nothing. No earplugs. 200 PSI. Conductor Special. Hit it. That like tickles your insides.
Sure you don't want one now?
Yeah. Hillbilly wants one.
Yes, I do.
All right, so we've had our fun with the Horn Blaster Conductor Special. it's time to get back to work. We need to get this frame over on the frame rack and get that thing set up so we can get it pulled. We spent way too much time playing with this thing. I think every single kid needs one of these in their trucks.
I think you need to put one in the Charger.
We're gonna get this thing pulled around the shop and get the frame ready. All right, so we're gonna get this thing set up on frame clamps, and then we're gonna get the laser measuring system on it and figure out what we need to do to get all these corners all squared around. All right, so we've got all the wheels and tires off. We've got the blocks, we've got our rails, and this thing is ready to be tied down. I'm gonna hurry and hang us some targets, and then we're all going home. All right, so what we're doing is we're gonna laser measure this frame. So what we're trying to do is figure out our torque box, which is the 4 center points of the vehicle that you want to measure off of. This is called a target. The laser reads these lines and it tells us exactly where this frame's at so that we can put this frame back into OEM specifications. So I can see right off that this frame's going to have a diamond in it. Our heights are good, our widths are good, but everything is like this. We're going to add a bunch more attachments out front and out back, get a true measurement on this thing, and then we're going to get a game plan on what to do to get this, to get the diamond out of it and get this thing all squared around. This one's got tow hooks in the way, so now we got to pull the tow hooks. All right, now the exhaust is in the way in the rear. I was able to push it out of the way. I should be able to get my target up in there.
There's a nut inside there. This is something someone's added. It ain't factory, I don't think.
Well, that came out like a missile.
Did you see where it went?
Yeah, ding, ding, ding underneath.
Bye.
All right, so I'm gonna show you guys the data that we have from the laser. Now, it's super important to know what you're working on and be able to read your data. You wanna be able to interpret it correctly. So obviously, I can visually see where the damage is, so I can go look at the computer screen and I can read the numbers and know where my front's swayed, where my rear's swayed, where my frame's diamond, and I'll show you all that. This is not as bad as it may seem. I'm actually kind of excited because this thing's gonna be easy to pull. It's gonna be easy to square back up. So this may not look like a lot to some of you, but on the top, it's showing me my height. In the center, it's showing me my width. And on the bottom, it's showing me my length. I've got arrows going in opposite directions, and they're going about 17 millimeters one way, 17 millimeters the other way. So what that means is this frame has a diamond. So when it rolled down that hill, that front end on the passenger side kicked back. So we've got to hold the driver's side stationary and we need to pull that passenger side forward. And what that's going to do is when you have two rails that are parallel and one moves, it pulls the front end like that and it kicks your back end like this. So as we pull the rails forward, it's going to make them parallel again. The back's going to come over and the front's going to go over. In essence, we have a sway in the front and a sway in the rear, but we don't really have sways. All we have is a diamond. Once we pull that passenger rail forward, it's going to kick our sways back right to where we need them. Not bad. I'm pretty excited about this. Our heights are good, widths are okay in the center sections. In the S-bend, we're good. At the back, we're 20 and 23 millimeters to the driver's side. In the front, we're 17 and 17 to the passenger side. We're gonna switch from our initial inspection mode, we're gonna go into the repair mode, and this is gonna give us real-time data as we're pulling this frame. Once we get it anchored down, we're gonna be able to pull that rail straight back forward. Shouldn't be no big deal. Things are gonna happen quick, but that's it for tonight because it's super late and we're super tired, so it is tomorrow. It is another day. So we're getting back on Aiden's frame. We're gonna get this thing all pulled, get the diamond out of it, get all our heights correct, and then fix every single corner on it. My painter today got sick, so he went home a little bit early. So we've got to go in the paint booth and finish up a job. We've got a 2021 Ford Bronco that we need to go clear the grille, the bumper, and the fender.
And that Bronco looks a million times better than my Bronco.
You know, finally we agree on something.
Mine's paid off.
No, Billy has a good point. He's got a valid point. His is paid off. This customer's vehicle might be paid off too.
Yeah, that might be paid off.
So, but it is a good looking Bronco. All right, so we did a repair job on this Bronco grill. It's a two-tone. This is some sort of stone gray color. I don't even know what it is. Pablo's already spotted it in, got all the color blended out. So all I'm gonna do is blow tack and static it, and I'm gonna flat clear it. We're gonna be putting 2 coats of flat clear on it. I'm gonna put my first coat on, go out, mix up my normal clear for the fender and for the bumper, and then we're gonna come back in, finish our second coat of clear on the grill, and then go right to our other clear. So the crazy thing about flat clear, it looks like it's gonna be glossy, but it actually starts to dry and flattens out. That's a flattening agent that's in the clear. All right, so we're just gonna get the clear mixed up. Since it's a different clear than the flat clear, this is normal clear, and we'll go in there, Get this thing looking glossy. Where this is flat clear, I just want to show you what happens when it flashes. It's all dull, but we're gonna put a second coat on so that we get that protection. I barely made it to the end. I just about ran out of clear right on my last little tiny bit. Talk about luck. That grill's done. We're gonna go clean the gun out. We're gonna put our first coat of clear on everything else, but we're gonna have to blow tack and static again. All right, I've got all my clear work finished up. Got 2 coats of flat clear on the grill, 2 coats of high gloss clear on the fender, the bumper, and a header panel for another job. So, it's time to get back on Aiden's truck.
What are you doing?
Just checking out this awesome merch. That's a sticker, a Velcro patch. Check out these hats, silver and black. Get yourself an awesome hat or a shirt. And don't forget, 100% of the proceeds from our merch sales until this truck is done are gonna go to rebuild this truck for Aiden. So head over to RobbyLayton.com, get yourself some merch, and help support this truck. Getting back to work on the frame, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie down the driver's side rail. What that means is we're gonna put chains around it and anchor it as hard as we can down to the frame rack. That way the driver's side rail stays completely solid while we have the passenger rail that we can pull forward. Because what's happened is the passenger rail has come back. So we're gonna pull it forward, bring that sway back, the rear is gonna come back, and everything's gonna be good again.
We're gonna wanna have a chain coming off the rear towards the back, one off the front towards the front, pulling against each other so it's straight like that, and then we'll have 2 coming off the side just to help suck it down tight so it won't move, because we've got to have this locked in place really good so it won't move at all. So when we pull the diamond out of the other side, we've got to pull that whole rail forward and we can't have this one move. Okay, now move to the front. That one we don't want to crank down too tight. So we'll lock the front one down, it'll suck it tight, and then we'll suck down these 2 ones and we'll be good to go. Okay, you can see right now, dinner you can show them we got all 4 chains on this side all tightened up and ready to go. Went through, snug them all up so they're good and tight, no play at all. Good enough and ready for him to pull the diamond out of it. And after he gets the diamond out of it is when we'll start going through and doing height corrections and fixing the end of the frame and getting it all squared up and ready to go.
So I've got the passenger side rail hooked up and we've got the driver's side rail free. So I'm gonna come over here, watch it, see what it's gonna do, and try to get it pulled. Then I'm gonna go back to the computer and check on it over there. I can literally watch this whole thing just pull. My leaf spring was locking out on this, so what I did is I just put the bar in here, pried it up. This entire passenger rail is completely free so that it can pull forward. That other side is completely locked down tight. That's how you pull a diamond out. So my first pull got us pretty close. I've repositioned and anchored it down a little bit more. So I'm gonna do one more pull and I think I'm gonna get the diamond out of it. And then we're gonna tie this rail down and individually fix each rail end. I'm just tapping on it to try to release pressure. So we've got a little bit of buckle here. Once we're done pulling and we get our center section square, we're gonna pull this bracket out. We're gonna use our rail saver and get that damage all out of there and get this thing squared around. Frame repair is slow and thought out. So it doesn't actually take a whole lot to get it back into position. It takes a lot of thought and making sure you pull in the right spots in order to get the frame to do what you need it to do. Now that I have the center section where I want it, I'm pulling the front over because as I pulled the rail forward, it actually swayed it the opposite way. So I'm independently pulling the front rails. You can see right here. So I did a pull. Now I'm gonna release the pressure and get them to stop swinging and see where we're at. So I'm just standing by the computer, watching my tower, just letting it work. All right, so we've got it reset up for the back sway. I actually have to have a tower on the front so that I can pull the rear. That way, when I pull the back, it doesn't want to pull the front over, it holds it stationary. I've got all 3 sections from the rear, the center to the middle, all good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab another chain. I'm gonna chain down the passenger side rail and I'm gonna pull this little baby sway out of the front end. I just need to pull it back 5 millimeters to the passenger side and this frame is gonna be back within specs. We're almost there. All right, so all I wanna do is keep this from moving. So I'm gonna bring the tower right back around. And I'm gonna pull this over just barely. All right, so I'm just gonna pull this at the computer and it just has to barely move. Just putting pressure on it already got it to move. So I'm gonna put one little bump and let it off. Oh, it's swinging. We gotta get it to stop swinging. All right, so we got the rear tower tight. Shut this valve off, reopen the front tower. Now we'll go back to the computer. It moved pretty quick. So now we gotta loosen everything back off, release both towers, see where we're at. So that did it. By holding over there on that tower, I was able to get that solid enough that I've got my back where I want it. Look at that, my front width, so we got zeros. Everything is a heck of a lot closer. I've only got a couple numbers that worry me, but by the time I fix the frame ends, it's gonna come around and be just fine. I'm gonna call that good there. Now we're gonna be hammering dollying and using a porta power to fix the frame ends. I'm gonna take this bracket out and we're gonna do a buckle repair in here. That's gonna need replaced. That's pretty banged up. So this core support end buckled the back of the frame in. The only way to get that out is to push on the inside. So I've got a rail saver. We're gonna hopefully get that buckle out of this thing. So Cody's gonna pump this up and it's gonna push right here out, and I'm gonna use the hammer and tap it and hopefully release some pressure. We may end up having to use a little bit of heat. We're not sure yet. All right, that's actually working pretty dang good. So we're gonna move to the top and try to get that top worked out. Right here is what's called the crush zone on the frame, and that just crushed like it's designed to do. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right behind it in this little caved in area. Now that we've got the bulk of the damage pushed, we're gonna have to re-weld that because it's got a little stress on the weld, but we're gonna push this buckle out right here. A little bit more, a little bit more. Hold it. We need to come up in here more. Hold it. So we've got this about right where we want it. I'm just gonna fine tune it with nothing behind it. Just kind of tap a few little highs. Now we're gonna twist this, get that up. Pretty dang good actually. And then what we'll do, Cody, is put the rail saver back in and we'll beat this into it. Got a little bit of bulge there. And then we're gonna put something on the top. We're gonna get the bottom of this pushed down. We're gonna leave it there. We'll grind it up because we're gonna weld this where it tore. We're using the rail saver as a dolly now. Got 3 sides square, now this one. Perfect, hold it. That pushed it out just like we need it. We saved another rail. We're busting out the derby car porta power. Go. Okay, we're gonna get a different attachment. It's pretty dang good. All right, now we just have one more thing to do. Keep going. We're gonna push up just one more time and call it a day. We're calling this rail end done, except for the welding, but we'll do the welding in a minute. Now, this one shouldn't be too bad. It's just torn. Oh yeah, that's what you do with these big boys. I'm pretty dang pleased with how this is turning out. It's going right back where we need it to. All right, we're gonna call that one a day. We'll get it welded and then we'll fine tune it when it's done being welded. So we're gonna just pull this rail around. This one looks a little bit bad. Cody's gonna pre-bend it with the pliers before we do any hitting. Going around, nice.
Yeah, it's starting to kink right there.
We're gonna put pressure on this, on the bottom of this so that it pushes that up and that'll push this out, release the pressure. You may not know it, but metal has memory. Metal's a lot like a woman. It remembers everything. We're gonna grab the torch and use some heat. You wanna know why? Because we can. I can feel that on my face. Wait, so we should definitely cool this with water, right?
Yeah.
Go, 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 shawty. It's your birthday.
That's a lot better. It's looking good.
Okay. All right, we're not gonna touch it. We're gonna let it cool naturally. We understand what work hardening is. We understand that we used heat on a frame. Be gentle, okay? Okay,
this is good enough to break out the new welder.
Pretty awesome, actually. Good job, Miller. You did a great job. Now I'm gonna weld the inside. All right, we'll let that cool. I think we got that thing welded.
We're gonna get the welds ground down. We're gonna get the tires put back on and unmounted so we can get her off the frame rack.
So we got that all welded and ground. The frame is done. So we're gonna get tires on it. We went out to the boneyard and got us a spare tire. So we're gonna get the spare tire put on here and then we're gonna put the other 3 wheels back on. This is the actual spare tire out of one of the trucks in the impound lot.
Which is about the same year as this truck.
So basically this thing's brother, we're gonna use it as a donor. We're just gonna pull the whole body off. Can I just point out how excited I am that that front frame rail pulled out really, really well? One down.
Which club?
The gray one.
It happened again. I yawned.
Who talked about it?
Remember last time I asked you guys about yawning?
Did it make you yawn?
I read those comments, all of you yawners out there. It really works. And you don't want to use an impact on your frame rack because all it's going to do is stretch your threads and you go through bolts like crazy. I usually use an impact, but Cody's here and I taught him not to use an impact. So I don't want to use an impact while he's around. Impacts ruin things. Don't use it. Only 2 Ugga-Duggas. From what it started as, these frame rails turned out awesome. We got this one all fixed and ground and welded. 1 out of 4 didn't need any work, and that's the driver's side front. The passenger side front rail is what took most of the abuse coming off the mountain, but we got that all straightened out and looking awesome. I'm very happy with it. Cody's pretty pleased with it. The passenger side rear rail took a lot of abuse. I think it had vibration cracking from prior, but I don't know, there was just too many cracks to think that this rollover ripped the frame in half. So now we just need to get this taken out of here so we can get the frame stripped so we can get it up to sandblasting and powder coating. If you guys enjoyed this video, go check out this one.